I thought I'd make a little video of my Xtrons head unit because there's not many videos on YouTube currently about the Xtrons units. There's quite a lot on about Eonon, but not the Xtrons. They're pretty similar. I used to have an Eonon stereo, but within 3 years the screen went. So I had to get rid of it, and I asked Eonon if they would sell me one a bit cheaper, and they offered me 5% off, but the Xtrons was about £100 cheaper than what their similar model was charged at. I've got to say I'm really happy with the Xtrons. It uses Android 7.1. The radio stations actually receive, whereas on the Eonon older one, which used WinCE, that didn't pick up at all. It's completely crackly. This one's a heck of a lot better, and I'm pretty happy with it. They send you a cable which is about 6 meters long, and it's a yellow cable that can be connected to the battery directly, which allows it to remember radio stations. Mine doesn't seem to be having a problem with that. The only thing it does do is when it first switches on, it defaults to I think 87.5 FM, which isn't a radio station around here, so you just have to switch it onto a radio station. But apart from that, it works fine. The other thing it doesn't do is remember the clock, but it seems to just come on with the correct time after a while anyway. It comes with built-in Wi-Fi. The signal's not great because the aerial's in the back of the stereo. You can either connect it up to your phone wirelessly, and it can use the data from your phone, or you can buy a dongle which you can put a SIM card in. I've installed one in here. I didn't get the Xtrons dongle because they're quite expensive. I've got an old dongle, this one, that was kicking around, and you can put a SIM card in it. This one's unlocked, so at the moment I've taken the SIM card out because I'm not using it at the moment. You also get a dongle, another USB holder that you can put put all your songs onto the dongle. The antenna for the Sat-Nav I've just placed up here. It's the same as the one that was on the Eonon, but you can't use the Eonon one because it's a different connection on the end that goes into the back of the unit. So I just swapped it over. There's loads of videos on how to install those on YouTube, so you can just follow those. When you've got a dongle, GPS dongle, you get that icon just there that shows it. The one next to it is obviously the Wi-Fi, and then the Bluetooth. Let's turn the volume back up. But you get different radio stations. You get 6 there, and then you get another one where you can put, say, 6. And then you got some AM ones, and then it goes back. Then you've got, that's the sort of home page. That takes you to Sat-Nav. As far as Sat-Nav goes, you get like a GPS SD card. You can put in a GPS software on that. Just be aware as well that these cards go in upside down to what you think they would. So you can put music onto them, but they go in upside down because otherwise you put them in the other way up, you'll break it. The music app that comes with it isn't very good. It just seems to sort it all by albums. You can't see the artist or the group. So I downloaded another app, and you can add that to the home screen. This one here is pretty good, and that was a free app off of the Android store. So you've got radio, Bluetooth, and that's the CD player. They all work fine. You've got the clock. That thing up there is just showing it's downloading something at the moment. So it's downloading one of the apps, ES File Explorer, which is one of the ones that comes with it. So you can log on to Wi-Fi, you've got data there, you can change brightness, 3G network. Then you've got all your other apps in here. You can then, I've got one called My Tuner Free, that's for digital radio. Got iGo. You can use things like Waze, which is really good. I'll just show you that. The only thing is I find it easier on my phone because I just have it on the dashboard, then it's higher up. And Waze obviously uses data, so you need to have either speaking to your phone or a 3G data card, SIM card. But yeah, this system is so much faster than the old WinCE one that I used to have, the old Eonon. The radio is so much better. So yeah, Waze is just the same as the app for your phone. You can also buy one of these Obd2 adapters that plugs into the data port of your car, and that can do onboard diagnostics to say if there's anything wrong with your car. You can get various apps for this. Mine seem to only work on an Android phone, and you can get free or paid versions. Obviously the paid versions tell you more, but it was okay for some basic tests. If you go into the menu setting, there's lots of different settings. The BMW symbol that the stereo boots up with wasn't actually on there to begin with, so I had to go in, and it's kind of hidden. You have to try and find it. There's an extra settings button, and the code is 123456. This then gets into another menu where you can choose different light colours and things like that. I think it's in logo setting where you actually choose the BMW symbol, which when the stereo boots up it shows. Model choose. You can go through a lot of different cars that they've got in here. I didn't bother setting those because it says things like no DVD, and I tried setting that and it turns the DVD player off and things like that. So I've just left it basically as factory default, apart from the BMW symbol I've put in. The screen's a lot more sensitive than the old Eonon one was. I'm a lot happier with that. The old Eonon one, it used to, every time you put the car in reverse, it would be a complete pain because it would just reset itself all the time. So the lights, the LED lights would change back to blue even though I had them set on orange, and it would, even though I didn't have a reverse camera, it would keep trying to turn this on, and you'd have to keep switching it off. This one's a lot better. It seems to remember the settings a lot more, even though I haven't plugged the long cable into the battery. If you've had one of these type of stereos before, you'll have already realised you have to take the sides off of your air conditioning unit to get it to fit in. The only thing I didn't like about this system when I was fitting it was the air conditioning unit. It doesn't go fully back, so it sticks out a little bit, and the metal frame that they give you to that goes on the back of the unit and the back of the air conditioning unit, I ended up using a hacksaw to cut the bottom part off so that it went back a little bit further. I've seen on the newer Eonon ones that it sort of comes in a horseshoe shape rather than like a square shape, so I ended up cutting the bottom off of that. But this one does stick out a little bit, the air conditioning unit, but to be honest I don't really notice it that much and it doesn't really bother me. You could probably get around by cutting a bit of the back of the bulkhead part that this rests on, but that would take a lot more time, and to be honest, it just doesn't bother me at all. It's quite nice having it sort of push forward a little bit. You can get things like SoundCloud and all those things downloaded. You get various apps, Spotify, those sort of things. Talk is the one that goes with the onboard diagnostics controller. But yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with it. The default LED colour seems to be red on it, which pretty much goes with the BMW orange on the air conditioning, etc. It goes pretty well. The radio works so much better than the last one. I mean, I tried all the suggestions that Eonon suggests, like putting in an amplifier on the radio cable, and none of it worked. The radio was unlistenable on the old system. I think on their new systems they're a heck of a lot better, the same as the Xtrons. The reason I gave the Xtrons a go was because it was £100 cheaper than the equivalent Eonon. This one I think was about £199, whereas the Eonon was nearly 300, I think, at the time I bought this. But this was Android 7.1. The other thing is there is a setting to update it in the settings, but every time you try it just doesn't do it. I guess they've done this so that you can't just update it to Android version 8 without basically buying the new stereo. But apart from that, it all works fine. You don't get a remote control with this, which I had on the old system, but I never use a remote control anyway, so it didn't bother me. You get the CAN bus, so that when you're reversing, the bleepers on the back of the car work. The other good thing about this as well is when you reverse, you get a little picture of the car. You get like a graphic representation of how close you are to something. But yeah, if you've got any questions, just leave a question in the comments section and I'll try and answer them. The other thing you don't get is a microphone. I've got a microphone just there, which was from the old Eonon system, and that does fit in, although it's quite hard to push it into the back of the stereo. But it does work, so that's fine. Connecting to your phone is fine, and yeah, you can use the data straight from your phone, share the data. Like I said, the Wi-Fi, you have to be pretty close to the Wi-Fi to actually get it to work. The signal's not great. I mean, I'm not that far, I'm probably about 20 meters from the router at the moment. So because it's in the back of the stereo, you can probably get an external antenna that you could probably put on your dashboard or something, but if I need it, I just connect it up to the phone data and just use that. But apart from that, I'm pretty happy with it. I've just turned the car's headlights on so you can see the red lights of what it looks like at night. I haven't actually turned the car on though, so the aircon's not on. But it goes pretty well with the orange colour of the BMW default lights.